Well, that was fast. I ordered these plants on the 8th. It's the 10th today, and they're here. I'm going to try and do this with one hand, but if I get the rats, then I shall put the camera down and yeah, I can see it's not going to be. Let me hold the camera with that hand. That'll be a novelty. And see if we can get the knife to do its thing. I think once I get in past this little barrier, I should be able to. No, it's stuck on. I'm going to use my knee. Is that open now? Yeah, we're in. We're in. As I say, I'm holding the camera with my left hand, not with the handle. It's wobbling all over the place, but I know a certain individual that got told off by hecklers for not doing a proper unboxing video and actually getting everything out off camera. So I'm going to see what I can do. There is one large plant in here and 3 small ones. So we'll see how they come out. What I don't want is all these peanut things all over the floor in here. I'd rather they all stayed in the box. But that might not happen, and whatever mess you make sweeps up, doesn't it? Well, I can see a load of roots. I haven't got a clue what they're on. I don't remember ordering a plant with loads of outside roots. Maybe one came unpotted. Yay, we got lolly sticks. I love lolly sticks, you know me. Right, let's see what we can do then. I think we might need the old sharp scissors. It's the old sellotape. Don't half hang on there. Let's see what we can do. Boy, do those need sharpening. I don't know whether anybody's ever noticed, scissors are left-handed or right-handed. And I'm using the scissors in my left hand, they just won't cut. Let's try the knife then. Nothing better than a sharp knife. That's got it. Right, and what do we have here? I'm not going to try and take all that other stuff off. What we have here is one of the little dendrobiums, and this is fleckery. And it's a young plant, and it looked like a good plant in the pictures. It's one I like the blooms on, so it's one I'm prepared to grow on. Yeah? So that's quite a nice little plant. Once I have got them out the box, I will actually, get all the wrapping off and everything like that and set them down somewhere, and we'll have a closer look. And then the next one, this is another little one. That one's coming out a bit easier than the last one did. Ah, now I understand why we have aerial roots. Another little dendrobium. And this is Lodder something or other. Come on, brain. More coffee required. Come out. Lodder Jessii. If I haven't said that right, I'll do it later. But again, this looked like quite a nice young plant to grow on. I mean, they don't grow huge, but they do have wonderful blooms. It looks like a nice little plant. And looking down in between the cracks, looks like there's a good root system in under there too. But we can see that better once I get them out the packaging. It's 2. I think there's 4 in here. No, there isn't. There's 5 in here. Perhaps one snuck in when I wasn't looking. Right, what else we got then? Perhaps if I lift the cane up it would make more sense, because that's wedged in there to hold the plant still. And then we can get rid of that out the way and get this out. Let me just do the thing with the knife before I try and do anything else. Oh, I hate working with knives with my left hand in an area that I can't even see what I'm trying to cut. Sellotape looks exactly the same as bubble wrap. Come on, cut. laid out the way. That's got it. The unrolling ceremony. Can you tell what it is yet? Yay! Now I like the look of that. It's another bulbophyllum, and I'm not going to attempt to say that one until I've actually got the label in my hand. But looking at the pictures, you know, this had several new growths pushing up, and the older leaves look nice and clean and healthy. And I checked it out, and I do like the bloom. That's the criteria for bulbophyllums. Not too stinky, a bloom I like, and preferably a compact plant, not one of these like this thing that grows all over the flipping place. I still don't really know what I'm going to do with that. I mean, it's pushing out nice new growths, several, but you know, where are they going? Everything's out of the blinking pot at the moment. Anyway, off the subject again, you know me. Right, what have we got here then? Don't even recognise that. Will that cane just shake out? Yeah. There we go. Can we get this undone? You know, this has actually got blooms on. I can't think what the hell it is. I'm sure I only bought 4. Well, we shall see, won't we? Are you going to come undone nicely, or are you going to play up? You're going to get wedged in the corner and cut. You know, sellotape is supposed to hold a few things together gently. It's not supposed to seal it in for all eternity. But that's what it does. Do you know, I don't remember. I better have a look at some documentation. I don't remember getting that. Perhaps I've had a freebie chucked in. I'll have a look. But it's a nice little plant. It's unusual, and I don't recognise what the hell it is. I'll have to go and have a look at the order, where it's in, you know, printed text rather than handwriting. Well, it's an attractive little plant. Yeah. Not so keen about the thing it's growing up, but that can be changed. So, that leaves the big one. And the big one, I know, hasn't got any ID as such. It's just a generic. And if the blooms are still intact, which it looks like they are, I got it for the blooms and the fact that it didn't look a bad plant. Let me try changing hands and have another go with the scissors. See what I mean? I know it seems silly, but in my right hand the scissors work. In my left hand they don't. You sort of think to yourself, well, why don't I just do that then? But for some reason it just doesn't work. Right, have we got enough sellotape off to get this out now? Yeah, I think we might have. An awful lot of bubble wrap. That's about as far as I'm going to get without having 2 hands. But yeah, nice looking plant. I liked the look of the plant, nice clean leaves, and you know me and the odontoglossum type blooms. I'm a sucker. I'm also a sucker for yellows. Don't think those blooms are going to be around too long, because they look like they've been open a while, but at least I know what I'm getting next time it spikes. So right, I'll get everything unwrapped properly now, and then we'll have another look. Yeah, I actually managed that without just doing it all off camera, but I expect the camera's all over the place. I'll have a look when I edit the video, but you know, that's how it goes. If you want to do a real unboxing video, the camera's got to go in one hand unless you use a tripod, and last time I did that I kept getting in the way, so you didn't see much anyway. Anyway, we'll go from there. I'm really interested in what that is. Right, I'll be back. Okay, welcome back. Now we can see the wood for the trees. These are incredibly substantial blooms. They're really firm and waxy, and yeah, that's a nice addition to that part of my collection, which is growing. I love that shape flower. I love the intensity of the colours on those types of blooms. Some of them are a bit wishy-washy, but this is a good one. And it's not a bad plant. I wouldn't say it's a brilliant plant, but it's not bad. It has potential. So that's that one. It's just labelled as a Cambria. It's just an intergeneric. But it's got a good amount of odontoglossum in it, so it's going to be one that needs the cooler, lower light, I suspect. But there's probably Oncidium in there as well, and all sorts of things. You know what they're like. And you know, even the term Cambria is not as relevant as it used to be, because part of its makeup, odontoglossum, they're now mainly called Oncidium. So anyway, that's that one. That is a nice bloom. That is smashing. I love the yellows. It's like spring. It's like sunshine in the grow room. So we can have plenty of that. Right, let's have a look at this one. I've had to make some flipping notes because these are new additions, and you know me. So this is Lodigessii or Lodigessii. You can choose how you say that. It's a single G, not a double G, so it's probably a soft G, as they say. This is a small dendrobium, so it don't grow huge. So the chances are that longest cane there, they don't get much bigger than that. I mean, that's got Mount Me written all over it, hasn't it? Come on. So that's going on a mount. Now, these are quite cool growing. The blooms are long lasting and fragrant. So this ticks all the boxes. Dendrobium species, doesn't like it too warm, and it comes from a place where you're looking at deciduous forest. So again, its growing season is going to be quite wet and lower light levels, and it doesn't need the temperature. So quite honestly, ones that come into that category are perfect for me. So that's a nice addition. There's roots all over the place on this, and this has a tendency to grow plantlets along the cane. We call them kikis, but plantlets. And I do believe those are buds. It's quite likely those are buds, but I don't know the plant that well, so maybe, maybe not. Maybe a plantlet. It may just be a funny shaped leaf, but we'll see anyway, one way or the other. The other dendrobium is Fleckii. Now this one is an Australian native, so an Aussie species, but unlike the Kingianum types, the blooms on this are larger, and they're an orangey colour. Orangey, sort of with shades of yellow. What I'll try and do is nick some pictures, so when I edit this together, I'll try and pop up some stolen pictures from somewhere. Try not to upset anybody in the process. Okay, so that's that one. Again, you know, it's a relatively small growing plant. This is a young plant, and it's got a lovely new cane there. Yeah, so it's doing okay. This bulbophyllum is a miniature, and this has got new growths coming out here, 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 and here. So I would, oh, and in there. Yeah, so that's a lot of new growths. Now, as it's a miniature, that's going to be flowering size. So potentially we could have blooms on any up to all of those new growths. I'll see how I get on with that. Now that's Sikimensi, I think it's pronounced. It's S-I-K-K-I and then M-E-N-S-E. It's a miniature, and I've got to watch these bulbophyllums, although I want the odd one to add to my collection. I'm not going mad. I've got a few now, thanks to Archie and some of my own purchases. I'm not up to my limit on bulbophyllums if I can get miniatures like this that have relatively large blooms. Again, I'll try and get a pop-up of the bloom. It's a very attractive flower. It's one of those with the, you know, with the hand shape, as I call it. So that, I'm looking forward to that. It's a warm grower. That's the other thing. It's worth watching out when you purchase bulbophyllums. A lot of them are classed as hot growing. You know, they come from low down near sea level in very tropical places. They're used to heat, year in, year out. In the UK, we don't get that. So I'll be pushing the boundaries with some of these. And then this can only be described as a freebie, because I did order 4. I thought I did. I know I have senior moments now and again, but I was pretty sure I only bought 4. So this one's been thrown in. Now that's a nice touch. That's a lovely touch. Now these flowers, I can't do them justice without getting in really close. They are small, but they're produced in profusion. And this one's got more names than you can shake a flipping stick at. Depends where you look, how long ago you go back. You know, it was first found a very, very long time ago. And this one comes from around the sort of Panama, that sort of area. Yeah, so sort of the central part of America, I suppose you'd call that. It's endemic to those areas. And the most commonly used name is Epidendrum centrodenia, but it's also called Oestadella, and it's also called Epidendrum centropetalum. So, as I said, this thing's got more names than you can shake a stick at. And I'll have to do a little bit more homework on that. But given where it comes from, it's never going to be that far from the coast. So I would suggest it's one of those that, you know, is used to moist air and things like that. Very delicate little canes on it. Obviously flowering size. It's got flowers all over the blinking place. And that's good because there is actually an unopened bud. Yeah. So I get to see the flower in its true form when that one opens. That is light as a feather. It's probably in pure moss and it's dry. It needs water. So we'll get on and deal with that. Yeah, so that's the haul. Thank you, Suzusa. I forget the name of the actual site that's actually on eBay now, but all eBay purchases. Very pleased. That's a good set of plants. Absolutely no complaints there at all. And yeah, I'm pleased. This was a spur of the moment thing. You know, I didn't get many plants at the 2 shows. In fact, I got 1 each, if you remember. The Nellie Isla Red Velvet and then the Dendrobium delicatum. And that's a kiki, so that's going to take a time to grow on. So I thought, well, you know, these plants I like. They look like good plants. They're at reasonable prices. So we'll have a haul off of eBay as an interim, because I do have the big RHS show coming up at the end of March. And quite honestly, that will probably be my last potential big haul. I'm taking my list. I do hope to cross some off of that list. The next one will be the Malvern show, where a lot of the international and European sellers will be there, but quite a few of those at the RHS show anyway. But, you know, different times of year, vendors bring different plants. You know, they try and bring plants that are in bloom to tempt us. That works. Anyway, so that's the haul. I'm pleased. Good stuff. Okay, see you again next time. As I say, if I can find pictures of these ones that I can not get arrested for posting on YouTube, then I will do so.